What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Virzi Effect podcast show. My name is Paul Virzi, and you guys listen to episode 568. I don't know what that means for in studio because we have not been in here that long, but since we've been in here, you guys have been fantastic. The show is moving up. Please rate and review the show. That makes the show go up even more, and you can get the Virzi Effect podcast everywhere you get your podcast, iTunes, Spotify. You know where to get it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and you could see me this weekend. I'm going to be at Zany's in Chicago this Thursday through Saturday, the 2nd through the 4th, doing 5 shows. Then I will be in Providence, Rhode Island. Beautiful, beautiful downtown Providence, Rhode Island. I will be from, March 30th to April 1st. April 14th and 15th, Wise Guys in Utah. April 16th, Denver Comedy Works. Go to paulvirzi.com for all of my dates. Today, everybody, I have another fantastic guest on the show. Somebody that I guess we've known each other from afar.
Yeah.
I think that's safe to say.
Yeah.
Mutual friends, the same manager, who we're both having difficulties with. But, ladies and gentlemen, he'll be at the Paramount, performing at the Paramount in Long Island, which is a huge deal, April 1st. The hilarious Anthony Rodia is on the Virzi Effect. Thank you for being here, buddy.
Yeah, no.
Making a trek.
Picked a good day.
Yeah, well, you're making a trek through the snow. Did you get a lot of snow in Long Island?
You said in Long Island. It's
yes.
been a big controversy lately.
Oh, what is it? Is it
people? I used to say in until I lived there.
And then what is it?
And then people yell at me and have to say, well, now that I live there, I have to say on because it's an island.
I got to say something. Can I say something?
Yeah.
Long Island people are out of their fucking minds.
Thank you.
And so you're a Westchester kid.
I'm a Westchester kid, born and raised.
Our manager from Long Island's here.
That's one of our problems with him.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I have a buddy of mine who has, I'm not going to mention the name, but his in-laws and everybody are Long Island.
Right.
Deep-rooted Long Island people, it's almost like another little country.
It is.
They're out of their minds. It's their way.
Yep.
And when you go there, you feel like you might as well be in like North Carolina. It's really wild.
It's so spot on, and I'm surrounded by Islander and Met fans.
Oh,
and
man.
I got a big ass Yankee Yankee flag in front of my house, and my neighbor's like, "Nice flag." I'm like, "Yeah, when's the last time you've been to a parade?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Have you been to a parade lately?" So, but you're right. It's like a different world out there, and they like sense me.
Oh yeah, and when the real Italian, like the Long Island, and you got the the clubbers, and they get their.
Well, I used to go out on Long Island all the time.
Were you one of those?
Oh my God, Bridgeview, Mirage, Patty McGee's, all the time. So
you're a fist pump. You did this shit?
No, I'm a dancer, dude.
Oh,
I'm a dancer. I can fucking dance.
Only an Italian guy could say
100%.
that. Only an Italian guy could say that cool. Like no, bro. I'm a fucking dancer.
I'm a dancer. I'm a fucking ballerina. No, I used to teach dance. I taught hip hop when I was 19 years old. So dudes see me dance and they're like, he wasn't joking. He's just gonna pop lock at a restaurant. So I could dance my ass. So we went down to. I'm trying to say it manly. I don't know if you can.
That's the fun. No, that's the thing. You got a bigger set Italian guy hat backwards, dude. I could fucking dance. Okay, put me in a Broadway play. I'll blow people's minds.
Don't let me start a circle on the dance floor. We were down in Florida, and my boys were like, yeah, where we're gonna go. We were down in Florida, and he goes, oh, it is Dixie Roadhouse. He said it's packed. The music's great. So I walk in, and I said, did you guys bring me to a line dancing bar? It's this huge club. It's a line dancing club. And all these people know how to do the line dance, but there's a different line dance for every single song.
Okay.
So it's not like you just jumping in and doing a hokey pokey. You need to know the line dance, and they're playing hip hop and they're line dancing and country. So they're like, yeah, we're just going to chill here and drink. I go, I'm getting in. And he's like, what do you mean? You don't know the dance? I said, well, watch me. And I sat there, and watched the steps for like 2 minutes, jumped in, and my ass was line dancing. And I did like 2 or 3 songs where I was killing it. We put it on social media, and the vibe was killed. Like, I get dark, and I'm 5'6" and a half, dark with dark hair, and some girl killed my vibe. I was killing it. I thought I was, I was mixing some salsa hips into it, and she came up to me, and she goes, you are good. I said, thanks. She goes, you Mexican? I said, what? Are you Mexican? No, I'm Italian. You ain't Italian dance like you Mexican. I'm like, I'm gonna go have a drink at the bar, and they were like, "What'd she say?" I'm like, "She said I should enter a contest next week because I'm really good. I don't want to do this anymore." But
that's
yeah,
so
I can dance. See, it's still not coming out manly.
Well, first of all, Mikey, you know we're naming this podcast. This podcast is going to be called Italians Dancing, or the Italian, or
If
the
you
Italian.
think you can dance,
Or Mikey is the in-studio producer here for.
So you think you can dance?
there you go. There you go.
Mike, you're a big kid. Can you dance? Can you?
Oh,
you got a couple
cut it.
steps?
I can cut.
No, are you serious?
100%.
That's
No,
I
you're
should've
not.
said
Are you
it.
serious?
Yeah, I have size 15 tap shoes in my house.
I'm
Trying
sorry.
to make that sound
Get
manly.
the fuck? Do you really?
They make tap shoes that big?
I had to get them made.
I got to be honest with you. If I saw Mike Albanese, for anybody that knows, Mike Albanese, by the way, such a funny comic. He's worked with me on the road. But if you can't see Mike is a 6'5", bearded, big kid. If I saw you jump out on the dance floor in some taps, that would be incredible.
Well, the good thing is his tap dancing just made my dancing a little more manly. I mean, what are you, like the Italian Gregory Hines?
I mean, yeah, I was just gonna say if he came out and started tapping like Gregory Hines, fucking Fred Astaire over here.
I'm the Astaire kid.
But a 15 tap shoe? What's that? Like a whole sheet of metal on the heel?
15 wide.
It's like Shaq tapping.
It's like someone's tin roof on your heel. That's a big ass
Listen,
tap
I gotta
shoe.
make tap shoes. I'm going to the Home Depot. I gotta go.
I can see my father. How much sheet metal I gotta cut for this Bigfoot? That's a big tappy shoe.
Oh shit!
I've never seen a tap shoe that big.
Dude, you want to know what's funny though? Back in the day,
You should have seen how funny it was when we going asking to find those shoes. Every woman in the ballerina store just all converged on me. They're like, "There's no way."
dude, what I would have been to be a fly on the wall with you shopping for tap shoes would have been. He looks like he looks like
as long
he
as you're not a
strangled.
fly on the floor while I'm dancing, buddy. I'll tell you
Mikey
that.
looks like he just strangled an elk to death so his family could eat, and dragged him in by
I
its.
tapped the shit out of that elk. I tapped him to death. What you do is you want to jump on his forehead and just crush his cerebrum with the heel.
Oh shit!
I can't stop picturing you tap. Like, do you have like a lot? Like, for instance,
this
if you
is
tap
so
dance next to a
fucking
regular
funny.
tap dancer, like, does your tap have more bass in it, or like?
No, the floors do need to be reinforced, though.
Listen, Mikey's coming in. We need more 2x4s. We got to balance out. I mean, that'd be unbelievable.
I'm a man of many mysteries.
I literally, when I asked the question, by the way, and this is no setup. When I literally asked him a question, Mike, are you a dancer? I literally thought you were going to go, Paul, look at me. I don't dance. And now you're telling me you're a fucking tap dancer.
No. He said first, "Oh, I can cut it." Like that's the manly way to say it, and then you went right into tap.
Well, here's the thing: when you reach a certain size, you have to realize that you could kind of say what you want. What are you going to say to me that's going to affect me,
Right.
Paul? What are you going to be like?
that's
Oh,
true.
you tap dance? I'm going to go, yes. Next question.
Right.
Yeah.
You got nothing on me.
Yeah, you got some 5'8" Italian guy going, well, yeah, you could tap, you little girl. And he's like, yeah, I can.
You're gonna watch. It's like the one guy that questioned his tap dancing is watching this episode with a square heel mark in his forehead, going, "Don't question his tap."
You know what's
I
funny?
questioned it.
All the Virzi Effect fans who just see the thumbnail of this are not going to have any idea that dancing was a
Right.
big part of this. Dancing.
I'll take a picture in the middle of you guys, and that could be. You can use that as the.
But listen, back in
this
the day, I
week.
mean,
was
that
just-
was to my advantage.
Dude, you want to know something? My grandfather, the late great Frank Virzi, rest his soul, my father's father.
Right.
And if you saw him like our height, okay, he was like real estate, self-employed entrepreneur, right? My father said, Paul, when this man in the 50s showed up in the 50s and the 60s to a club, he said like fucking Travolta. He said the dance floor separated, and your grandfather got on the dance floor, and they were like, "No, Frank's here."
He parted
and I
the
go,
seas.
And I go, "What?" I said, "Dad, what?" He goes, "Your grandfather would show up to a nightclub, and they would start whispering. There'd be Clement, Frank is here, Frank Virzi is here," and they would go, "Oh shit!" And they would, and I go, "Dad, Grandpa." He was for me.
Yeah,
he was this older man. He would like cook sauce.
Dude, you're bringing it back. I used to go to Bridgeview and Mirage, and we used to walk, and like I used to get 2 drinks in me, and my boys were like, "You ready?" And I'm like, yeah. And they used to use me. They wouldn't dance. They used to use me. They used to open up a circle. I used to start pop locking and just and all the girls used to come because you got an Italian kid dancing. I mean, I didn't look like a dancer.
You did the break dance shit.
Oh, everything. Dance, break dancing, hip hop, house music. I would dance. Like, my body would move. And I mean, right now, I'll pull a groin if I tried it. But,
Yeah.
And then, like, I would do, because you had to dance up to a girl when she was on the dance floor. You couldn't just walk up to her, especially if they were grooved.
that's so
So I would
funny.
dance. And, I mean, come on. Every guy out there remembers all you really wanted to do was get close enough to rub your shit on the back of her jeans and get her attention. But I would dance, and the girls would come up to me and dance, and then my boys would pull that, you know, is he bothering you? And you know, they would use my moves.
Yeah, you see that? This generation, it's all, hey, I'm on this app. Guys had to go up and dance.
Correct.
The guys had to dance their way to get laid.
I had to sweat.
You had to know some
I had to bring
steps.
2 shirts.
Oh,
my dancing shirt and I'm at the bar now. Because, you know, the thing was soaked. I mean, it would get hot.
Imagine being declined by a girl after you tapped up to her. And then you got to tap, tap the rejection, just like, no thanks. And you're just like,
oh, you do that, like, kind of like.
I was just going to, dude.
Like,
no.
Fade back.
It's like the hands go out like Fred Astaire, and then he goes like this, and she's like, no.
And then it's just this. And then it's just this.
He does the hat thing. He goes.
And then all you
rolls it up,
You call her my lady.
He's got a cane.
I'm pitching you right now in the Dumb and Dumber pastel blue suit.
Oh, it's great.
Rolling into Mirage with tap shoes on.
The only thing you hear when I get rejected in tap shoes is this. It's just me slowly, and everyone watching.
All right, now you put a different image in my head. Now I'm picturing you tap dancing, and everyone going, "Is that a Central Park horse? What is that?" Like when the horses walk.
You just see him in the parking lot, unlacing them, shaking his head like a basketball player that had a bad game. And then he throws it over his shoulder.
He laces them together, like how they used to throw the shoes over the wire in the street, just over his shoulder. Ironically, still as high as the wire, and he would just walk, and they would clack together as he walked.
Yeah, when you see me walking with my shoes slung around my shoulder, that you know I had a bad day.
Yeah, it was a bad tap night.
This is so funny.
So I mean, technically, if you got like dismissed by a woman after you, like, would that be considered like you tapping out? Like,
yeah. She submitted me for sure.
Right.
Yeah. I had to tap.
But it is like what year, Mikey? Can you look at what year did Saturday Night Fever come out? Was it
75?
75?
I think so. So funny you said that. Lenny's just closed.
77.
Okay, so 1977, and Travolta walked in, and all the women, you know, had that, you know, he would like, but like, I got to be honest with you though, and I'm not saying, I'm not gonna. This is not a. I'm not trying to disrespect men that dance.
You break my balls.
No,
dude.
I'm not breaking your balls.
I hear how it sounds coming out.
No. But you're not doing the rolling. There's a difference of like dancing, or then like the one leg up and you doing this shit. Do you know what I mean? Like if you watch Travolta, he like his toe went up and he started doing this shit.
I'm not
like,
meeting my boy in the middle of the circle and matching Adidas pants and going.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
No.
There's a difference between dancing and cheerlead dancing.
Correct.
Right? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm not.
Yeah, like
I just like stirring the pot.
As funny as that image would be for everybody, yeah, you're not doing that stuff. Okay, that's really funny. But girls would huddle up and go, "Oh my God, look at him! Look at him, he's got moves." But see, I was the guy going like, "I'm not." I was the guy who would.
You were the bopper.
I was a bopper, and then I would either have to be drunk to go out,
right?
But I was a guy like if there would be like a slow dance, and she was like, "Come and dance," I would do that, and then I'd be like, "Hey, let me go."
Well,
get
most
you
of my
a
boys,
drink.
I would call them stirrers. They would stir dance. So I'd be on the dance floor, and they'd sit there with their drink and just.
Oh, okay, stir.
And just stir. Like they were too tough to dance, but they wanted to show everybody like I know where the beat's going. And then I'd be in there sweating my ass off trying to pick up.
And then Mikey puts on his leotard and he starts
comes
spinning
and
around like
kills
a ballerina, and everybody's like, "Look!"
He just taps himself right into the dance floor, and then that's when I leave.
Oh man! So I'm glad you're on the show. Let's talk about you here for a second here, because you have a story that I admire, and I think it's something to be said about somebody that makes the best of time and opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You were a car salesman.
Salesman, and then when I left,
Your dealership or no?
No. I wouldn't. I don't think I would have left if it was my dealership. Or maybe, but no. I was doing finance. I was that last guy that you came to see.
Oh, okay. You were the guy. Listen. I'm telling you, I've seen crazier things happen. You leave and you hit a pothole.
Right.
Listen. You leave and hit a pothole. That you got to pay right now. So I'm telling you, for $4,500.
It was worse. I had the rim behind me. See that rim? You see that rim? That happened on a pothole in the summertime. Can you imagine the winter time? Can you imagine?
How many times does a guy like you go, no, I've seen it a million times. People pull out and they hit a nail.
It's funny because I wasn't that type of guy.
Yeah, you
I would tell the dude, hey, listen, you have this car, take this and this, don't worry about everything else. And he's like, you're not going to try to sell me the whole kitchen sink. I'm like, you don't need it, dude. You don't need it. And then people would leave my office laughing hysterical.
And they'd probably tell people come to you.
Yeah.
What did you
That's
sell?
what happened.
What kind of cars?
Audi.
Oh, nice.
Audi and then Lexus.
Okay, that's all I drive. That's my favorite car ever is Lexus. Just got a new one. Rory saw it. Rory goes, our manager, he came when I was at Gotham, and I go, come on, I want to show you the Lexus. And he walked over like, I'm gonna look at his Lexus, but then I opened and he saw the white leather and he goes, oh, this is nice.
You know what his problem is?
What's that?
All right, so first time I met Rory,
Yeah.
he had I could say what truck, right?
The great Rory Rosegarden, our manager, everybody.
He had the Range Rover, right? Matte black Range Rover. I was like, nice. Now, I'm a fanatic with cars. So I got a monster pickup truck, which I brought to the city, which was dumb because it doesn't fit in any lot. Yep. Then I've got an Audi R8, which is my all-time favorite car. Yep. That's the car that I was selling. Yep. And I was like, I need to get that car eventually. He is now not interested in anything that makes noise. He's a Tesla driver.
Not true.
100%.
That's not true.
You have a Jeep, but you have that Tesla kind of attitude where you're like,
try it.
Yeah, well,
they do go fast.
See? Right. No, they're fast, but it's. That's what they sound like. I like a car sound, but he has that. I'm not saying.
Here's the difference. You look like a car guy.
I do.
I don't. I look like a guy who buys cars. Do you see the difference?
Yeah, but yes, but you just like my uncle has a Tesla now. And, before he was like, yo, nice car. Now he's like, it's nice.
Yeah.
Nice. He goes, but the nav is so small. I go, all right, iPad Joe. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's not like. And then he's like, and the gas. I'm like, now you're a spokesperson for Tesla.
Can I make an honest admission?
Yeah.
I like the other car better.
Which one?
Then your Tesla.
I have a Tesla. I love it. I like the other car better.
All right.
Well, I'm hearing quality control with the Tesla. I'm hearing quality control with the Tesla is a problem, but I will say this. Giannis and I were at the stand one night, and we live in the same block. And he's like, I'll drive down. And he said, dude, do you want to drive the Tesla home? Right. And I said, yeah. And I'm not going to lie to you.
How was it?
It is the fastest. Here's the thing.
Which one does he have?
He's got the 3.
I've driven the Plaid.
No, he doesn't have the Plaid, but
Plaid,
he has a
Plaid is disgusting,
dude. I went from 0 to this thing. I was like, I don't care any car off the line, any car off the line.
Remember the remote control cars?
It's
a remote control car.
It's insane.
Let me tell you something. The engine you can set. There are 3 settings.
Yeah, you could upgrade them when you buy it.
Sport, and insane.
Right.
That's what it says in the car.
That's like when you take chocolate shrooms. It says 1 to 3 is mental state, 5 to 7 is relaxation, and then 8+ walls might melt.
No.
It's like the same. I swear to God, it says walls might melt.
You're one of those. You do shrooms.
I tried it, and it's the best thing in the world. No, chocolate shrooms. It has to be chocolate because I'm a fat ass, and I want to.
Only an Italian's gonna be like, no, listen, is there sauce on that mushroom?
I said to my father, I did mushrooms. He goes, why are you not coming to me? I give you the jar with the mushroom and the olive oil. I said, because I'm not doing shiitake. I'm doing psychedelic. I don't. They have a Stop and Shop. No, they don't have psychedelic at Stop and Shop. And it was greatest feeling in the world. I didn't take a lot where I was seeing like magical unicorns, but very relaxed.
Yeah, see, I'm not. Yeah, I'm afraid of drugs. I'm afraid of psychedelic shit. I'll have a couple cocktails.
Right.
I'll take an edible if it's like one of those.
That's the only thing I was ever doing.
Yeah, like I'm talking like to the point where it's like a Xanax. Where I'm just kind of chill, but I can't. If shit starts melting or like,
I can't get to that point. My cousin did. My cousin took 8. He's a big boy, but he took 8. And we're driving to play Top Golf, because why wouldn't you go Top Golf after you just took chocolate shrooms? And we're passing by, we're in Florida, and he's in the back, and he looks out the window, he goes, yo, this is why we got to move down here, bro. It's Thursday night. Look, a car show. We don't have random car shows in New York. Random car show, bro. Can we go to the car show and before Top Golf, please? And I go, where? He goes, right there, bro. What? He goes, how messed up are you? You don't see the car show. I look, I go, how messed up are you? That's a Honda dealership, and they're closed. You want to go look at a Pilot? That's when, and he cut himself off. It was a car dealership. Well, that's not what he saw, though.
Joey Diaz, I think he took like 250 milligrams.
He's not normal, though.
No. Like, you can't, like, that's where you go to hell, and you just don't know if you're ever going to come out of it. Like, I'm not good with the psychedelic shit. How did we get to that?
Tesla ratings.
Tesla ratings.
Yeah.
All right, so you're selling car. You're a finance guy at Audi.
Yeah.
And a year before pandemic, you start doing stand up.
So 2 years I think before my first show. So I did stand up back in like 2010.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, 2000. I was 20, 21 years old. My cousin dared me to go to New York City Comedy Club and do an open mic.
That's the first one I ever did too.
Just jumped on.
Yeah.
I went there with like 16 of my cousins.
I did a bringer. You had to bring 3 people.
Yes.
Yeah,
So I brought 16.
Steve Aarons? Was it the
I don't even remember,
Okay.
dude. But
Yeah.
I remember I went there, said I got 16 people with me. All right, you got 6 minutes. Now, I've never been on a stage before.
Yeah.
So I get out. I had them laughing. It felt good. I got that rush. And then for like 12 minutes, I'm going. I'm like, does anybody like come and get me? And all of a sudden, I hear the guy behind the DJ booth. He's like, yo, you see that blinking red light?
Oh, boy.
I go, yeah. That means get off. I'm like, that thing's been blinking for like 10 minutes. He goes, I know. I'm like, I don't know what that. I thought you guys had a messed up light. I was gonna, because I used to do electrical. I'm like, you know, you got a blinking light. And I got the little itch from that. And then I did a couple small shows, but then I couldn't, like, I always tell people that the grind that, you know, a lot of you comics made back in the day, where going to open mics and just boom, battling it out. I have respect for that. I never was able to do that. I didn't have the time for it. My family looked at me like, you're going to go to the city to do what? Yeah. And, you know, I feel spoiled in a sense, because then what I started doing was I rented out a movie theater, 400 people. And I said, I want to do a comedy show there. And I remember I went and sold tickets for $20. Everybody that came into my job. And that was around 2017, 18. I just wanted to get back into it. I went to go see a Deadpool movie. Heard the place dying laughing. I was like, I want to do that. And I got tired of hearing, yo, you should be a comic. Yo, you missed your calling. Yeah. And first show I ever did was Black Friday 2018 at Brokerage in on Long Island. And that's it. And then I started booking shows together with Roger Paul at first. And once I had 6 months of shows booked and I was making more money than I was making at work, I walked in one morning to a finance meeting, cursed out my entire all the ownership. I mean, I left it a blaze of glory. Yeah. They were not good people, so it's not like I cursed out a great family-owned business. Right. But I cursed them all out, and and it's funny you mentioned Giannis, because one of his friends worked there as a finance manager. This dude Michael, and he witnessed me leaving, and he still talks about it to this day.
Oh, that's amazing.
I left, and and then a year later, the pandemic happened.
You know, anytime you want to find out if somebody's hungry, in my opinion, it's if you book a room yourself and you produce a show yourself. Yeah. I do think it's funny that you're at a movie. Only an Italian would be at a movie and just go up to the guy and be like, what's the cost to rent out this place? Listen, like he's not even looking at other rooms.
That's
or bars.
Almost exactly how it happened. Yeah. I'm like, how many seats? He's like, 420. You rent this out for like, he goes, what, a birthday? And I want to do a comedy show.
You heard a chuckle at a Cheesecake Factory. Like, let me talk to the GM here. What's it going to take to do a comedy show at the Cheesecake Factory?
People laughing here at Yankee Stadium. How much does this thing hold?
You take out cash? You're like, no, I got cash on me.
That's almost how it exactly happened.
Dude, that is so... Italians just wherever it is. You know what would be a good idea?
How much to rent this place out? Because we don't want to wait on lines. We don't want to listen to anybody. How much? He was like, for what, the movie? How much to rent the place?
You see a good movie, you're like, I'm going to make movies. What does it cost? What's a set cost?
Well, dude, I grew up like that. Everything my father touched, stood on, used, he goes... How much does this cost? I'm like, $200. I could make this for $60 with like a 3/4 inch plywood.
So that accent, the stuff you did online. So I'm at my doctors. All of my doctors know that I'm a comedian, and I'm a fucking neurotic hypochondriac. So all my doctors know, and they've watched my specials, and they know. I go to the doctor with my kid's pediatrician, this Italian woman, and she goes, Dad, there's an Italian. This is like 2 years ago. So this is probably like right when your shit was viral, like popping big.
And it was because of the pandemic.
So, right. So you were putting all those out. Yeah. So I'm at the doctor. I'm just remembering this now. I'm at the doctor, and she comes in, and she's like, how's everything going? And I was like, oh, you know, I'm working on a special. This is before the Netflix thing came out. And she goes, yeah, there's another Italian comedian. And I thought she was going to say Sebastian, because that's anytime somebody,
100%.
you know, it's like, you're Sebastian. And then she goes, no, do you know this Anthony Rodia? And I go, nah, maybe. And she was like, yeah, no, the voice, the videos of everything like that. And then that's when I started to see, and then I was in Atlantic City. But see, you know, you did something too that I think is cool and I respect. And I listen, I'll never knock like YouTube or TikTok people who get shit and then don't work because they made money. Right. But you got your shit on there and went viral and started selling tickets, but then actually like put in the like go out and put in the work and like keep going and going and going, where it's like sometimes, because it's hard, like even comics that are very known and established, when they first hit the road, that's kind of where it's like, oh shit, this is different.
No, it's I remember the first conversation, even when first conversation I had with Rory, I told I'm with Matt from CAA, and when Matt first approached me, he said, "What's one thing you want me to know?" And I said, "Work me until I don't want to work anymore." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Dude, I did the comedy online stuff to build an audience." I said, "If I can have an audience and put asses in seats, then I can do stand-up." Yeah. And I didn't want to. I wanted to put people that knew what my comedy was like in the seats, because if you could attack, I mean, when you have your crowd there, it's beautiful. And I told him, I said, "I want you to work me until I tell you that I can't work anymore. I need a day off." I said, "It's not going to happen." He said, "What does that mean?" I said, "Dude, I want to be booked every single weekend." And I remember I was doing, 15 shows. I remember at Comedy Connection, I did during the pandemic 10 shows in 4 days. And the dude was like, "Dude, are you out of your mind? Add 2 more?"
Yeah.
It's an addiction for me.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, what do you do for work?" I'm like, "I don't work." Like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, I love this so much
you're
that
a comedian.
I'm addicted to it.
Yeah.
But you're right. You have people that do the TikTok and social media, they build an audience. Number one, it's either they can't translate it to the stage and the shows are horrendous.
That's right.
But they have a viral following, or they make their check with the videos and they're like, you know what, I'm good, and they get content. I can't be like that.
And no, and that's what I was saying. That's the difference. And there'll be somebody who like does a dance and they cook and then they do funny shit with that, and then they fill a room, and then people go, after like the initial them walking out,
correct,
and a couple of fun things that they did that we know, there was no show.
Right.
And what sucks about that is that people aren't coming back.
No.
So if people see that you're out there, and I love that too, that you said, because there were times where my agent will go, "Hey, for example, I'm doing Chicago this weekend. I'm doing 5 shows at Zanies, right? And if they all sell out, great, add a 6th one, okay? But I want to do or do you want to do one, small theater, do the?" And I'm like, you know what? I'm working a new hour. Let's get the reps.
Yeah.
Let's get the reps. Like, listen, there will be a time where I'm like, hey, sometimes it's nice to go in, do one and done, sell some tickets, do a one and done, and leave. But I like because I'll tell you what, you do a Thursday, then you start getting warm. Then by Friday, by Saturday it's like, man, and then you do that again the next week. That's how you build an hour.
Not only that, but I mean, listen, it's like you said, it's great to go out there, bang out one show with 1,500 people, and I love being on stage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, I just did one show. I got to wait till next week, or, I got to wait till tomorrow night. When you do 2 shows, I'm on stage the whole entire weekend. Yeah. And you're like you're saying, by the time Saturday comes, your show is like you're on autopilot. It's nice. That feeling is amazing.
No, it is. It is. And what's cool too is now when you told your wife, because we have a different situation. I was just this, naive early 20s with my, my girlfriend who's now my wife, and I told her, I said, "Look, this is what I'm doing. This is crazy." But I guess you being, more financially established and you had kids or no?
I had 1 kid, yeah.
Yeah, 1 kid. Your baby.
Yeah, Gabriella was 3 years old.
Yeah, so you got a 3-year-old, and you're having a finance job at Audi is a pretty nice job. It's a good.
The money was great.
It's a good job, then you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna do videos and stand up, and she was cool, which is
she was.
Oh, she wasn't cool.
Hell no. My wife is full color braids. Her head is 7 inches thick. When I started making the videos, she.
Jesus, I tried to. I'm sorry, dude. I tried to fuck
Hell
it. I tried to.
No, I'm not giving her that credit. It was we almost split up because of it, because she saw me.
Wow, I was off on that one, everybody.
100%.
They dodged a divorce.
No,
I'm sorry.
It was bad because in her eyes, and I always say being on the opposite side of what we do is got to be harder than what we actually do. So she saw me in the basement making these videos and like watching hours of YouTube videos on editing and green screen effects because I wanted to up the videos and make them better. She saw that as a way of me neglecting my family. And I'm like, no, I'm building something. I have a plan. Just please give me that confidence.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
She was like, no. She was like, you're making videos. You're just putting these stupid videos out. I go, trust me. And then when I came home at 12 o'clock in the afternoon on like a Monday, and she was like, what are you doing? I was like, I quit my job. And she was like, what? I was like, I quit my job. I'm going to become a comedian. She goes, you're not that funny. I go, well, I beg to differ. I said, but listen, give me 9 months.
Wow.
If I fail, I'll go back to work January 1st. And she goes, and I'm not good about that. I don't feel good about this. And then she goes, you're the only one that works. I'm like, well, I'm glad you finally acknowledged that. I had to quit for you to realize that I was paying the bills. I said, but let me do this. A month later, she goes, yo, I hope you're busy because I'm pregnant. And then my son was on the way. And he was born January 2020 and the pandemic hit. So I was, I remember when the pandemic hit, I had 150 gigs canceled. And I said, I'm going to make videos. Nobody's watching anything. And then I remember I made a video a night, every night for 90 nights in a row at 7 o'clock. And that's when the audience took off. But she might be cool with it now. And it has a lot to do with, her nice truck and the fact that she don't have to work. But I don't just get confidence from her. I need she's like, show me something for me to be confident
about. See, that's why winners win, because what it is like, and my wife knows. Like my wife even said to me, they don't like to give too much credit.
Hell no, I get credit once a year on my birthday.
They don't give a lot of credit.
Happy birthday, I appreciate you. I go, is that a gift or is that just sporadic? Because can I hear that in March? Does it have to be August?
Is that the quota you had to meet for the year?
Exactly.
But my wife said to me the other day, she's like, man, you're a workhorse, because the thing is, like, I'll do sets in the city on the weekend, and I really love where I'm at on stand-up right now. Right. But then it's like, come to do a podcast, drive down here, build an audience down here, make people, because I want to deliver. I want to deliver for people. My thing is this. I don't just want you in the seat. I want you in the seat, and then when you're in the seat, go, wow, I think that dude will go fucking toe-to-toe with anything I've seen. Yeah. That's what I want, but the work needs to go in. So she didn't see that you're, I mean, and to her credit, because I've seen some of your videos are in a robe, you quit your Audi job, and you quit and she goes downstairs, and you're in a robe going, oh, why do you do that? She's going, I mean, the only thing you didn't have was a joint in your mouth and fucking cartoons on. But you built something, and now it's like, and listen, she did stick. It could have went off. I mean, she's there. She's there.
Yeah. I don't know if I use the word stick. I mean, maybe she didn't have any other options. I'm sure if the UPS guy was jacked and, he had a 401k plan, it would be different.
Oh, how funny was what she told her family and her friends?
Oh, her whole family doubted me. My mother-in-law, my father-in-law. My father gave me two-sided advice. He goes, Michelle say you want to quit your job. I said, yeah. I not think this is the right thing to do. You got a family. Be smart. I said, all right, so don't do it. Anthony, you put your mind to it. You accomplish anything. I said, so do it. But if you fail, don't tell people I told you to do it. I said, you're just covering yourself.
Yeah. He's covering all bases.
My mom was the only one that she was like, Aunt, you've been making people laugh since she was 6 years old. Like, I have home video. You can do it. She's like, the one thing about you get bored easily with jobs that you've had, but when you put your sights on something, you don't accept no for an answer. Do it. She's like, if you fail, you go back to work. Do it. And she was the only one that actually gave me like the confidence.
Yeah, and the idea of do it when the time is right. There's no time right.
No.
The time is now. If you have a talent and you want to do something, and nothing great is going to come, no reward is going to, and it sounds corny, but no reward comes without the like the kind of scary risk that,
if it's easy, I don't want it.
Yeah, and it's like you have to. What's the thing? Like, you didn't achieve. Until you take the risk and the scary thing that's unknown, you're never going to get something better that's unknown. Like, you're never going to get this amazing feeling of satisfaction and gratification.
Well, Muhammad Ali said something. I have it on a plaque in my basement. It said, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, I was scared shitless, dude. I quit my job. My wife is pregnant now, and I'm like, all right, now I have a job where I'm not getting insurance. I got to pay for insurance. Everything just came at once, and I'm like, did I make the right decision?
Yeah.
And then, when you start seeing it working out, it's like, all right, like you said, like, I'm like, all right, well, now how am I going to be funny tomorrow? How am I going to be funny? Like, I want people coming to my show. My thing was hard because people were addicted to these characters that I made up. Yes. Now they're coming to my shows thinking they're going to see the characters walking on stage, and it's like, no, you're going to see the mind behind the characters. So I had to be funnier than the characters I created, and now I'm starting to see that.
Well, that's what happened with Giannis.
Yeah.
Because Giannis had Marisa.
He would get yelled at if he wouldn't do his character.
He had Marisa. Okay, which was the transsexual from the Bronx. I mean, one of the funniest things. Then he had.
Oh, you from Westchester?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. You from Westchester?
I mean, that character was, got millions of views. Then he did Mr. Panos, but then he would do stand up.
Correct.
And people are like, "What are we gonna?" So he would actually, what he did was, and I still think, like, I mean, it would be an amazing 90 minutes of doing 30, 30, 30. But yeah, you built a fan base on viral videos that were social media that wasn't stand up,
Correct.
and now you're coming out. But there's another thing to this business. I was talking about this to. I was like, dude, how great is this podcast, by the way? Because we're like 40 minutes in here, and we're flowing. This is fantastic. But there's another aspect to this thing, and all the great comedians, from the Chappelles to the Louis C.K.'s to the Bill Burrs to the Joe Rogans, they're good in business.
Yeah.
You have to see something. So what you did in the pandemic was you saw, even to say, oh, everybody's home watching things now because the world is shut down.
Yeah.
Nobody has anything to do except play board games with their family or stream shit or look at their phone all day. So to even know that and go, I'm going to make these videos that are going to be geared towards whatever your fan, but your Italians, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now that's good at business. That's another level of this. It's not just, there's a lot of funny guys that are
a ton.
fucking morons. There's a lot of funny fucking morons that don't have the business sense, that don't have the sixth sense to go, oh, this is next.
Right.
You know, Tom Green. Tom Green is an example. Holy shit, that's another fucking, I mean, Rory Rosegarden. I mean, the kids.
He racks them up.
I mean, the kid's on his, the kid
He
just gets
racks
it.
them up.
Tom Green was really the first of all of this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm talking before, if there's even a video of Rogan on Tom Green's show, and Tom Green had a studio in his basement, and it was a TV set.
Yeah.
And you see Rogan, if you watch it, he's looking around, and he's going like, dude, this is the future. This is it.
Right.
Like, smart people can see. When he even did the Tom Green show, and he came on the Virzi Effect, he was on this show, and he said, like, the selfie stick was kind of his thing because he had to get a camera on something and show it. And I'm going, yeah. So it's like not only brilliantly smart, just comedic genius, but also sees what's gonna help get eyeballs on him, and I think that's a big
Oh, you
part
need.
of it.
Well, listen, I remember the conversation. So I toured with Going by Johnny.
Yeah,
and
I know Going by Johnny.
And I just, if I hear him tell me, oh, you're going on Paul's show, tell him I said hi. He's a great guy. I'm like, all right, John, I've never heard you talk about me like that. And we toured together. So he goes, no, but you're a dick. I'm like, all right, great. I remember sitting down with him, and I'm like, we were just getting going. And just every phone call I got, show canceled, show canceled, show canceled. And he goes, what are you going to do? And I said, I don't know, man. I said, I'm not going back to work. And I remember watching TV, and I'm on the phone, and I said, look at this. People have two things to watch, the Tiger King and a rolling death clock on the news. I said, this shit's miserable.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, dude, I make people laugh.
Yeah.
This is what laughter is supposed to be. Having people escape going through something and actually not even paying attention to it, being able to escape for a little bit. And I put one video out, then two videos. Then people started saying, are you putting one out for 7 o'clock tonight? And there was times, many days, I had no idea what video I was doing. I would get an idea. I would put a preview out of the characters and say, okay, this is the title of the video at 2 o'clock. Yeah. And my wife's like, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know. She said, what do you think? I said, if I commit to a video, then I put myself in a corner. I got to deliver. So I would be in the basement every day writing new scripts. And then, I started looking at my Facebook and my Instagram. I was getting, I think, 70,000 followers on Facebook every week. It was just skyrocketing. And then all of a sudden I said, let's see if we can do shows. And it was, well, where? I said, dude, I rented a flatbed truck. And I remember I did a show outside in a parking lot. And then all of a sudden the promoter called me from Red's in Jersey, Carlstadt, New Jersey, Red's like restaurant. He had a flatbed truck. We put 400 people in a parking lot with stand-up speakers.
Oh,
I did a drive-in movie theater. I did, what's his name? Royersford. Soul Joe.
Oh, yeah, Soul Joe, yeah.
He had the outdoor. So I started doing outdoor shows, and I started making decent money to pay my bills. And then once the pandemic was over, it's like, it's nice to see when you have that business sense, it coming forward and working. And, the crowds have just been getting bigger, and it's because of those videos.
It'd be funny you showed up to Audi. Look, I know I yelled at everybody. You guys mind if I use the... Soul Joe's another guy, though. Soul Joe's a guy that was like, you know what?
A lot of shows, man.
I have a comedy club inside. Let's get sand.
Yeah,
and turn a parking lot into a beach.
A lot of sand.
A lot of sand. And let's get people Dick's folding chairs.
Did you perform there?
Oh, yeah.
What month?
I performed there, I want to say it was late summer the first time, and then I did the Dome.
Right.
I did
what month was it when you did the Dome?
I don't know. I gotta look, but why?
Because I remember I burned my leather jacket on a portable gas propane heater. It was 12 degrees. I said, no one's coming to this show. And we pull in, and there's just herds of people.
And a freight train behind you. Did you get the train? There's a freight train. There's a freight train going behind you.
I don't know where the hell I was.
I must have done the first time it happened. I was one of the first people to do it. And when the freight train came, and I was in the middle of a punchline, the thing started. And, I mean, I must have done 10 minutes on it, which was great.
No one heard you. No, I remember the freight train came, and I was like, yeah. So then my father.
Yeah. And
I'm thinking to myself, wow, they're not getting it. And then Johnny was like, they didn't hear you. What?
I start talking about how the train is honking the horn, and I swear to God, I go, if this fucking guy honks it one more time, and like 3 seconds later he did, and the whole crowd went nuts. But he's another one. Like it's adapt or die.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the deal. Not everybody could tap dance like Mike Albanese
with a size 15.
With a size 15.
I'm gonna order you a pair of tap dancing shoes on Amazon, size 15.
Mike, please, for the love of God,
I feel like you need tap dancing shoes.
I mean,
again.
you can tap dance for real?
I have tap shoes.
All right.
You don't need to buy. I mean, I'll take them.
Yeah.
I can always, one wears out.
No, I'm gonna buy you like special. Like I'm gonna bring them to my sneaker guy and have him decaled.
One day
up.
we're gonna have a couple drinks.
Some Air Force One
like
taps.
Big Mike.
I'll
I got
take you
out
out.
of your shoe.
How about this? I'll take you out for like steak and drinks, and you'll get buzzed, and then we'll smoke a cigar, and then you just got to throw on the size 15 taps and just go off.
Buddy, a couple.
And you
couple
have to do the Gregory Hines where he runs up the wall and finishes it with a backflip.
Absolutely.
Right in Blackstone Steakhouse.
It'll be the last time I do it, but yeah.
Oh man, guys, this has been a lot of fun. We still got some more though. We're good, right, Mike?
42, yeah.
All right, good. Yeah, we're good. So you have a 7-year-old.
Yeah, 7-year-old and a
3-year-old. Yes.
7-year-old's a clone of my wife and a 3-year-old. She's a clone of my. Well, she's mixed. She looks like me. She looks like a clone of me, looks wise. But she's my wife with like her attitude and everything, and tells me what to do.
It's funny how the difference. It's funny how the difference is, right? Like my son is like fair skin, blonde, blue eyes, Scandinavian, because my wife is like Swedish and Finnish and all this stuff, and my daughter is me. And she looks like me. She's got the Mediterranean stuff, and you know, my son Lucas, he likes what I do quietly.
That's so funny. My son's name is Luca.
Oh, Luca, yeah. So that's that's your father's accent. That's where that goes.
Luca.
Yeah.
He always says like Luca.
Luca. You know what, Luca Brasi? Yeah. Was that what it's from?
No, I just love the name, and nobody in my family was named Luca. We have 19 Antonios and like 100, Filippos and Benitos, and I wanted something different, so I got shit for it.
And your wife's Italian?
Yeah, 100% Calabrese. I'm Napolitan, she's Calabrese.
Oh, so there's no Puerto Rican or anything?
No, my wife's just dark.
Oh,
I thought she was when I met her, but no, my kids, you could tell they're.
Oh, so you're
Italian.
like from full on.
Yeah, my daughter looked like a capuchin monkey when she was born. She was covered in hair. I was like, is she gonna? I have to shave that, or I have to take her to my barber and fade that back hair? And he's like, no,
are we in the wrong? Are we in the wrong hospital room?
Is this a vet? Am I in the veterinarian? Is that
dude? Does somebody have a dart gun in here?
Dude, 100%. I saw her come out and I was like, oh my God, why is so much hair? Why?
That's so funny. But yeah, my daughter comes out with a full head of black hair, and my son nothing light. That's right. But my son your kids are probably at the age where they know what you do, but not really. Like your 7-year-old knows.
My daughter's opened up for me.
No.
Yeah, she's got balls, man. She opened up to me at Westbury. We had like 1,900 people at Westbury. She's like, Daddy, I want to introduce you. I said, don't say that. I'll cry right now like a bitch.
Oh, man.
And she walked out. I have a video of her walking out. And I was like, all right, all you got to say is thank you for coming to my daddy's show. She was like, Dad, I got it. And she walked out. And she grabbed the mic and she goes, "What's up, Westbury?" I go,
no.
I'm gonna have to pay her. That's awesome. And they went crazy. And she goes, "Put your hands together for my daddy." And I was backstage.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna cry. That's my little girl. And then she came backstage and she was like, "What do you pay Johnny?" And I go, "Well, that's none of your business." She's like, "Well, I'm getting paid. What would we pay a host?" Straight out, shook me down. And I take out $200. She was like, "Pay me. I know you got paid." And I'm like,
whoa,
here's $200 for opening, so much for a moment.
Imagine she did like 45 and murdered. She's like, dude,
writing was horrible.
She's like, these bitches at recess. Fuck.
You know they have a store named Dick's? I have a friend, Richard, in class, and we call him Dick.
Anthony gets off stage, and Rory's trying to sign her to a contract.
Right. Yeah, I see Rory going, "All right, this is what I can do
Rory's
for you."
like, forget about your dad.
Yeah.
Listen, you're the future.
Yeah. What? Can you just Tell me, what is the definition of miserable? Oh, when your daughter opens up and then has a Netflix special the next week, and now you're opening for her. That's miserable. But she has it in her, man.
Daddy,
She's funny
Rory
as
said
shit.
I was the better Rodia. I was the future of the Rodia family. No, my son likes what I do quietly, but my daughter flexes.
Okay.
Like my daughter is a whole other thing.
How old is she?
She's 10, but
Okay.
she's got the Sicilian. I talk about it in my act. Like she's got the vengeful. My daughter doesn't fuck around, man. My daughter, she said a funny story where she said a kid in her school likes to kind of flex on things,
Right.
and he said to her, "Yeah, my dad's on Google. He's got 2 pictures on Google," and it was like 2 real estate headshots. And my daughter goes, "Give me the phone." And she goes, "Give me the phone," and she just typed to me in, and she goes, "Yeah, my dad's on Netflix." And he said the kid just.
You know what's funny? Dude, our kids have to meet because my daughter comes home. She goes, "Dad!" I knew something was up. I go, "What's up?" She goes, "You don't understand what I just did today." So what's up? She goes, "This girl, her father does he has shows or something. He does he plays guitar, And she goes, "Look, my father has YouTube videos." And she goes, and I went to her and I go, "Yeah?" Keep scrolling. That's my dad. Has your father sold anything out? I'm like, "You said that?" I'm like, "High five." Because and then I told her you kept selling out and they added shows. And then I was like, "My dad's at the Huntington at 4 shows." I go, "It was the Paramount. You plugged it wrong. It was the Paramount, not the Huntington."
Oh, that's so
yeah, she'll flex, man. She'll tell people my dad's never home because he's a comedian. I'm like, "Yeah, but when you say it like that, it's I'm neglecting you."
Yeah.
We got to prepare how you deliver the flex. You can't just flex. Don't, "My dad's never home.
My
he's
dad
a
leaves
comedian."
my mommy lonely because he makes a lot of money.
And that's another thing I say. I'm like, the pressure on the father is so big because you never go to a strip club and go, "Oh, that girl's got mommy issues." It's always daddy issues.
Yeah.
It's like we get blamed for the screw ups. I'm like, stop telling people I neglect you.
Yeah, that's.
But I heard the bit you did about your daughter. She seems pretty vicious. The whole Star Wars bit.
Well, the Star Wars bit, and what I'm saying in the new hour too is the Star Wars bit was when we just thought it was cute,
Right.
But there's something happened with my neighbor, and my daughter's got this thing. My daughter's says some wild shit. She's like, "Yeah, dude, I'll kill him and dance on their grave and shit." And I was like, "Whoa," you know what I mean? She's just there's something where if you hurt her,
right.
it has to be. It's that Sicilian. I'm coming back tenfold.
Yeah.
Where my son is more when my son's upset, he his mother. My wife and my son, they process things.
Yeah.
So they take it here.
My son's definitely way more laid
Then they
back.
go to the room, they close the door, and then they think about the fight, and then they can deal with it.
Yeah.
Where my daughter and we empty the pockets.
100%.
Just everything's on the table. What's every pocket,
Yeah.
And but listen, that's the beautiful thing about having two, one of each.
I want my daughter like that.
You know what's funny is we always say I'm more worried. I don't worry about my daughter.
No,
My
hell
daughter
no.
will say what she feels. My
daughter makes my son tough now because she was beating on this kid when he was a year old.
Yeah.
And my son's a strong kid. I said, "Gabriella, when Luca gets older, he's gonna beat your ass. He's gonna remember all this." And now he's 3 years old, and there'll be times where she's on her iPad with her friends on FaceTime, and he'll come down and just poof, and mush her head into the iPad or pull her hair and walk away. And I'm like, "That's payback. You deserve it." But I want my daughter, if I had a choice, I don't mind having my son a little more reserved. I want my daughter tough. I want to build and raise that tough girl that guys are afraid to approach.
I think you have to. I think you have to. I think raising a strong daughter and an independent daughter and a daughter that knows her worth is better than somebody that's timid and what's that Chris
100%.
Rock joke? Away from anything but the pole.
Yes.
It's just It's
I want her to be intimidating.
And they did a study, and I don't know how they always say they did a study. It's
I don't know
how
who
the
they're
fuck?
studying.
I don't know, but they said that a father's importance is very underrated in a children's life as far as even daughters.
It is.
Because a lot of times, it's the mother and the daughter can bond because they're both female.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
I think the father gives a daughter an image of who she wants when she gets older. I think.
Well, they say the daughter marries something similar to the father.
I don't
which
know
in
if
this
I'm
case,
okay with that.
Which in this case, I remember I said that at home, and they go, "Well, I'm not."
Yeah.
She goes, "I'm not going to marry somebody who stays in bed that long," because I.
Oh, dude,
I was like, you know what?
I can see it now. My daughter's married to a guy, and she's like, "You see, I can't get him out of that that house dress. He just sits in it because my daughter will come downstairs sometimes after I make a video. I got that old lady house dress on, and I'm watching football. And she's like, Dad, you're done with the video.
Dude,
I'm
you
like,
got a
but
wig
this shit
on?
is
You're watching the
comfortable.
NFC Championship?
The wig is off, but I got the glasses and the house dress, the muumuu, and I'm like, come on, Giants. And she's like, Dad, this is just
Giants,
weird.
Giants, Yankees?
Yeah, Giants, Yankees.
I picture you with the grandma wig. Going, what's the spread on the? You got the fuck. Yeah, listen, I'm taking
Can
Cleveland.
I get the under and the Chiefs with the? I'm gonna parlay. I'm gonna do a parlay. Can you imagine?
Dude, if my daughter ever came to me crying, and she's like, Dad, my husband doesn't get out of bed, and I would just be like, does he work nights?
Right, exactly. He has a reason. I feel like a frat boy sometimes. Like there's the weirdest thing. Everyone's like, yo, what? There's times, and people don't realize, they see the finishing product of what we do. They don't see the mental work that goes into everything.
Sure.
And there's mornings where I'll wake up and I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, it's 10 o'clock. My kids are already in school.
Yep.
And I walk out and she's in the kitchen. And I'm like, hey. And she's like, mm-hmm. I'm like, okay. All right.
Yeah.
She's like, you're a fucking frat boy.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to go in the basement and smoke weed there because I feel like shit. But
Yeah.
I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning writing.
You won't
know what
feel
I
like,
mean?
listen, I've been doing this a long time. You won't, like, when you, I look at it like this. When I put the work in,
Right.
if I'm out doing sets and I don't get, and plus, you got to understand, I live an hour something north.
Right.
So if I get off stage, if my last spot in the city is midnight or let's say 11:30, I'm not home till 1:30 in the morning.
Correct.
I can't go right to bed. So I'm going to go home, and I'm a big 2 o'clock in the morning. You know who's a big 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning stay up?
Who?
Our manager. This guy will
Why don't you call me, dude? I don't go to sleep.
This guy will.
Are you? So it's not just me. Like
Dude, he
after you get off stage, you're wired.
He texted me at 3:40 something in the morning. Hey, everything's set for. I'm going. What are you doing up?
Right. Are you really like that?
Oh no,
Dude, I'm like, my brain doesn't shut off.
Oh, he's 2 o'clock.
But I think what it's the high that you're on. You just made a bunch of people laugh. You go home. I got things going. How can I have done that better? That better? I can't just go home and shut it off.
No, now
You know?
what I like to do is I like to shut it off, but then just go watch a crime doc.
Yeah.
I like to do something other than comedy before
Correct.
bed. You know.
And the only time we have to do that is late at night.
It's late
like
at
I
night.
binge watched one night. I got home at 1 o'clock. I binge watched. I'm behind on it. So if you've watched it, don't tease me. But Sinners
I didn't
on
see.
Netflix, unbelievable.
Good?
Yeah, real good.
Is it true story or no?
No, it's
Oh, okay.
what's his name? Pullman.
Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman,
Okay.
Jessica Biel's in the first one, and I've been watched it 8 episodes, and like 9 o'clock rolls in.
Yeah.
No, it was 8 o'clock, and my wife comes downstairs, and
Oh, you said it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
yeah.
Oh, you.
Yeah, I just couldn't stop hitting next
See
episode.
me once it hits 3-4. I'm
Nah,
like,
I
Paul,
can't.
tomorrow's another day.
I can't. Next episode.
There's
She came downstairs. She was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
you are actually up to get our kids ready." I go, "I'm actually going to sleep. I just been watching the show. I'm shocked." She's like, "What?" "I'm going to sleep. I'll be up to pick him up at 3, hopefully.
Yeah.
But I'm going to bed." She goes, "I hate you." I was like, "All right, Sinners." It was just Sinners.
Sinners is a good
I want
show.
her to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I will watch something, but there's something about the sun coming up that makes me feel like a piece of shit. When you see the sun come up even sober, you're kind of like, what the fuck am I doing?
If you're not on the beach with your girl and the sun comes up, reevaluate your life. I remember the sun
Yeah.
coming up in the city, and we're going to the Sound Factory, and there are people. I remember, I'll never forget this. First time I ever went to the Sound Factory, you remember, like Jonathan Peters would be there, the big DJs. They'd open at 11 o'clock in the morning
Oh, yeah.
on a Sunday, and dudes are going there popping ecstasy. I remember we parked the car, we get out, and I'm looking, and we're in club clothes at like 22, and I'm like, yo, dude, people are going to breakfast with their families. What are we doing
here?
And I went home.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going clubbing. These people are ordering eggs over easy and bagels and shit with their family.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm going to a club?
Oh, my God.
So now I have that image. So funny you said that. Anytime I see the sun come up, I'm like, oh, I'm such a low life right now.
we got to wrap this up in a second, but you got acid reflux or no?
No.
You don't?
Why is that like a
Fuck.
thing? How old are you?
What? I'm 40. I'm your age.
And you have acid reflux?
I had acid reflux since my late 20s.
No, once in a while I'll get like that burp that
Yeah, no, but you don't
and it
have
burns
the,
your throat.
No, but you don't have the.
No, I can
yes.
eat fucking dish of tomato sauce at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Doesn't
see,
bother me.
if I ate tomato sauce or had red wine at like midnight,
Right.
I'll go to the emergency room. I go like they just know they're like, oh, Paul had a fucking Pinot.
Wait, but why did you ask me if I had it?
I'm just because I'm going through it, and I just figured before we got out of here.
What's up, man? What do you do? You come in, you have acid reflux? Just want to know if I see you out late if we can have tomatoes.
I was trying to find something we bonded with before we ended the show. You know, like, hey, we got kids. You got acid reflux.
Yeah, I just got my back adjusted. You got scoliosis?
No, but I got a cervical issue.
My favorite time when Paul leaves the studio, he'll be like, hey, man, thanks for a great time, great time. Let me ask you something. Does the left side of your chest ever hurt for no reason? I'm like, Paul, go home.
Dude, I actually no.
That's
He's
a real
actually
thing.
no. That's actually that's literally like I've actually said to Mike on numerous occasions out the door. I'm standing where Rory is, and I would go, "Hey, dude, that was a great one, dude. I think send me the files. Listen, dude, does your acid reflux shoot under your ribs? I swear to God." And he just goes, "Yeah, it's the worst, dude. What do you?"
Let me ask you this: when you turn your head left, does the right side of your neck hurt?
Let me ask you something.
Paul.
Let me ask you something. Do Air Force Ones cause plantar fasciitis? Listen, real.
Dude, when you wear dunks, do you feel like you have like psoriasis, or is that just? Dude, I'm laughing because I have a group test. So real quick, I want to share something. Valentine's Day,
shit.
my wife looks at me and goes, "There's a thing going around the internet that says if you trust your spouse, trade phones." And I said, well, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And she goes, you wouldn't give me your phone? I go, no, I wouldn't give you my phone. And she goes, you wouldn't give me your phone because you got bitches calling your phone. I said, that's a woman's mentality. I won't give you my phone because you ain't built tough enough to handle the group chats that I'm in with my boys and my cousins. And she scrolled through. The first one was my cousin, who's 290 pounds, Marco, with his dick tucked in between his legs in front of the mirror, reenacting Silence of the Lambs, going, anybody want to be my Valentine? Like, that was the first one.
Yeah.
Then it was my boy taking a picture of his deuce that he dropped, going, yo, is this a normal color or should I go to the
my
doctor?
God.
And I go, I'm a comedian. One person in here works at a beer distributor. One person's a mechanic. Who knows what normal shit looks like? Then it's another one. My boy lifted up the back of his shirt. Yo, this looks like a welt or something I should get removed. So we do that. I think it's just the age, man.
I said to Giannis Pappas on the phone today, on the phone,
right.
You don't think it's a tumor, do you? And he said, listen, I don't think it is. He goes, but I'm not a doctor.
Oh, my
I mean,
God.
it's just, it's
that mentality.
I mean, for your friend on the phone to go, no, it's not a tumor. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Dude, I say it on stage. I used to get a chest pain in my 30s, and I thought it was gas. It's the first thing that came to my mind. Gas, I got a hiccup, whatever. I got a chest pain the other day. I started saying bye to my daughter, legitimately goodbye to her. I said, come here. Daddy loves you.
Wow.
I want you to just follow
Oh, so
your
you freak
dreams.
out like that?
Oh, because at 42, it can be. We're in the heart attack age range now. You know, it could be something serious. So I'm not as bad as you, where I'm just randomly checking to see if people have asthma. I've never asked a man
Dude,
that
you
question.
wanna laugh? You wanna
I've
laugh?
Never asked a man that. You got acid reflux? No.
Dude, you want to laugh? I got an EKG yesterday.
For what?
Wait a second. You know you're both fucking crazy.
I
right?
know that, but he's crazier than I am. I don't actually go to the doctors. I chance it. I'm like,
You're
this might
both
be a
crazy.
stroke. Let me see if I'm up tomorrow. He's going to get it
61.
checked out.
I had a stroke.
Right.
I'm fine. I don't have a little gas and a little. You're crazy.
What, you don't wake up in the morning?
No,
and like,
I don't. I don't.
Your ass is never like a tugboat, and then you call a doctor to see if you have too
Never.
much gas.
I have never
I called my doctor to
called
see if
the
I had
doctor.
too much. I said, Doc, can you have too much gas? And he goes, what's too much gas? I said, I woke up at 8. I didn't stop farting until 9:30.
Wait, under the ribs too?
Yes.
You get them in the ribs?
Yes.
Burning, right?
And you have to let it out.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
feels good when you let it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
All right,
no,
I'm not that one.
I'm at the age now where I want diarrhea. Like, I'm at the age now where if I have diarrhea, I'm like, all right, it's all coming out. Like I like the relief. I actually like when I have like stomach I like a good stomach virus.
This
because
show
then it
just fucking went. I mean, what other direction would go in? I mean, we could literally have a 15-minute conversation about deuces.
well, I'm gonna tell
I get
you-
nervous when I take a shit and I wipe and there's nothing on it. I'm like, I know it came out.
I know. The other night I was at the stand and I was having sharp pains and I went to the bathroom and I just had like explosive diarrhea and I was so thrilled and I was like I loved it. I loved it. And I had a great night. Everything was no pains. Guys, this has been truly an amazing episode.
Oh, man.
Anthony, you got to come back because
100%,
we
dude.
could
We
definitely
can finish the conversation.
Yeah.
We can analyze our shits. You ever get one that
How are
looks
your
like
eyes?
chocolate
You got 20/20 still?
You ever get a floating spot when you laugh?
I got astigmatism in my left eye. Guys, thank you so much for listening. My guest, I want to thank my guest, Anthony Rodia. Check him out. Check him out at the Paramount in Long Island, April 1st. It's a big deal. It's a big venue. And to be playing that that room from when he, got going with this thing. I mean, fucking Jim Brewer's got a residency there. This guy's playing it. So make sure you go out if it's not sold out yet. Go out and check that out. Check me out. I'm going to be at Zany's, guys, March 2nd through the 4th. That's this Thursday through Saturday. Then I will be at the Comedy Connection in Providence, Rhode Island,
Great
March
place.
30th through April 1st. Yeah, I love that room. And then I'm going to the West Coast, guys. Salt Lake City, Utah. Wise Guys. It's a big room. Let's fill it up. I'll be there April 14th and 15th. The next night, Denver, Colorado. Comedy Works, one night only, April 16th. I also have Raleigh, Charlotte, Tampa, Austin, Atlanta, and we're adding more dates. So just go to paulvirzi.com for all of those shows. And please like and review the show. Get the show anywhere you get your podcast, iTunes, Spotify. I want to thank All Things Comedy, my producer out in Beverly Hills, the Greek freak, Andrew Themeles. I want to thank Mike Albanese for helping me in here. The great Rory Rosegarden sat on this. That's like, we got comedy royalty sitting in here.
I was nervous.
And listen, guys, Mike Albanese, not only a comedian, he'll be tap dancing at the at the new Limelight Tappers Club.
He'll be down in Miami at the Moonshine.
Mike's closer is, he does his closer, he puts the mic in, and then he does a number.
It's called Studio 307 Pounds. That's what it's called. We're having a good time.
We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.